You need to organize yourself and ensure that when the time for examinations comes in, you must be prepared to at least give us the best, because we are hoping that when we shape the society from the lower and middle age, we are very sure that the future is bright. I'm joined here by none other than Mr. Chibenge. Yes. Am I right?
Chibenge.
Chibenge. I am Soga?
Yes.
Oh, Baba, Okobachi. Oh, let's enjoy this. Now, you come from the Ministry of Gender.
Yes.
One will want to know, first, before even congratulating the teachers, how do the two work together?
The Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development, just like the Ministry of Education and Sports, are ministries that contribute to the country's human capital. And under the National Development Plan, we are under a program called Human Capital Development. So we contribute to the country's manpower or human resource that should champion the social economic transformation of this country. So whichever way you look at it, these are two sister ministries that deal with people. Ministry of Gender, for example, looks at a human being from childhood, looks at issues of the family, the context within which children are nurtured, how they grow, how they develop. By the time education takes them up for formal schooling, for skilling, will already have taken care of the context within which these children are born, these children are cared for, are nurtured. The values, the family values start in the home. Actually, someone one time said, there is no better school than the home. There are no better professors than the parents. And that's why they say society is one big classroom, because there are a lot of things that happen outside the walls that constitute a classroom. So education really and gender have a very thin line. Talk about the youth, you'll still find the young people in schools are youth. Talk about the girls, talk about the women. A significant portion of those young people you find in schools are female, are women. So when we discuss issues of gender equality, gender empowerment, skilling, really the line is very thin between Ministry of Education and Sports and Ministry of Gender, Labor and Social Development.
Well, as you join the hundreds of the teachers who are here at Kololo, you come from the region where I also come from, that is Busoga. For many times, many years, we have led from the tail end in the performance of all levels of education. What do you think is the message you must give to the teachers who are coming here today for this celebration, that when they go back, they must be in position to share with the other people or even the communities they are operating within, in line like to ensure that we upgrade the level of education in our region like Busoga?
Maybe before talking about Busoga as a region, I must congratulate all the teachers. We are all who we are because we've been nurtured, we've gone through the hands of teachers. If they mishandled us, if they misadvised us, if they mismanaged us, many of the people you see today that are contributing severally would have lost them at some point. So that is why a teacher is very important in all our nation building efforts. And that's why some people say that the quality of a country will be assessed or judged from the quality of its education. And the quality of education of a particular country will not be better than the quality of the teachers in that country. So that partly answers the question you're asking. If we want to probe into reasons why Region X, Region Y may not be doing as well as the other, perhaps that could be one of the reasons. How much are we investing in our teachers? How much are we investing in facilitating and supporting them? There are regions or parts of this country where parents play a supportive role. And when schools draw up programs, because education is a partnership, so when they invite the parents into school to see what the teachers are doing and to see what contribution the parents can make to support the process of education of the children, the teachers will do so much. They'll be able to release these children, whether on holiday or at any agreed point in time. Those children will come back into the homes. Is there any reinforcement that is taking place at home level so that the work that the teacher is doing in school is complemented by the additional bricks that the parent is adding in this construction process? So it's not only about supporting the teachers materially or financially, but it's about taking interest in what happens in school. It is about the parents checking on their children in school, discussing with the teachers if there are identifiable weaknesses, behavioral or otherwise. They are able to fix it together. You don't leave the burden to the teacher alone. So I'm raising these matters in order that whether you are in Busoga, in Karamoja, in Bushenyi, you should be asking yourself that question. How much as a parent am I doing, am I contributing to the process? Actually, there are three players. On the one hand is the parent, on the other is the school, on the other is the child. So if the three are working together, it will tell in the quality of the school, it will tell in the quality of the education, it will tell in the quality of the learners. It is not that you simply dump your child to a teacher, into the hands of a teacher, and you relax. Look at it this way. You have 3 or 4 children to care for. The teacher is given a class with 120 of them. Who has a bigger burden? And who needs help from the other? So, I want us to interrogate the role that we are playing as parents, the role that every player is playing in the Busoga region, in any other region, and see if we see a missing link, a gap somewhere, then that is where we should concentrate our efforts.
Lastly, I know this doesn't entirely fall into your docket, but on several occasions, teachers, especially those who have reached at the retirement age, they face challenges of accessing their benefits. We also you have a program in the Ministry of Gender, which is catering for those people above 80 years. There has been a call that the age needs to be at least revised to ensure that at least people are becoming 65 years. The challenge of people failing to access their retirement benefits cuts across all sectors in the country. How are you, as a Minister of Gender, helping to ensure that this should not be a persistent issue to the country?
I think we've gone a long way and covered fairly good ground through the reforms in the public service. Pension has now been decentralized to the local governments for those teachers who are employed at the local government level, and also decentralized to the ministries or entities, government entities, where people that retire have been employed. That in itself has significantly reduced the challenges that people used to face. I think what we need to do is to make sure that the record, the management information system and the data where teachers' information, as indeed that of all other employees of government, where it is kept, it can easily be retrieved so that within 6 months or even less of somebody retiring, you're accessing your benefits. But those retirement benefits, as you've rightly observed, is not what a retiree will survive on. So through the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, we have a program that supports the older persons who have reached 80 years of age. They get some little allowance from government, 25,000 Uganda shillings per month, and this is paid to them monthly. There is a tendency at times to allow it to accumulate up to, but it is for strategic reasons. Because if you get your money for 6 months, that is a whole 150,000. Some of those beneficiaries have actually given testimonies of what they've been able to do with that consolidated package. But they are getting it.
It's a blessing in this.
It is, and some of them actually prefer it that way. So that is one intervention. But also, at the ministry, we received funding from government to set up a grant. Because SAGE, which handles the elderly 80 years and above, will not take care of somebody who has retired at 60 years. We now created a window and have received funding for now 2 financial years to the tune of 5 billion to cater for the 61 to 79 category. These people are accessing money in groups. They come together in groups of 5 to about 10. They apply for these funds, and these are purely grants. They are not the number of empowerment funds that government is putting out. Parish Development Model, Myoga, and all the others. While these others are being borrowed, it's money being given to groups to use and return. The grants for the older persons between 61 and 79 are given free. It is a question of people organizing themselves, and then they will access this between 5 million and above. That is money they can put in an enterprise. That enterprise can grow, because by 61, somebody is still very strong, very resourceful, and we have created that window so that we don't lose that contribution to the economic transformation of our country by writing off people as early as 60 and considering them wasted or retirees.
Thank you, Mr. P.S., for that insightful experience. I think we have taken time to go into your docket, but our viewers will excuse us for that because we don't normally get this interaction. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, we are still continuing with the live coverage of this year's Teachers' Day